So this is the story now that's been making the rounds. Rare. It was happening, I think, Saturday, right? As soon as we were not broadcasting. Yeah. Rand Paul made the suggestion that you are immune to COVID if you have already had it. And of course, the left lost their minds.
But the other thing is we have 11 million people in our country who have already had COVID. We should tell them to celebrate. We should tell them to throw away their masks, go to restaurants, live again, because these people are now immune. But Dr. Fauci doesn't want to admit to any of that. Dr. Fauci's like, oh, woe is me, until the election occurs, and now
it's a good Fauci.
Maybe he'll be changing his attitude.
I just love picturing Fauci somewhere in the White House going, hey!
Hey, woe is me.
I don't sound like that.
He says, whoa.
His friend's like, yeah, you do. He's like, do I sound like that? I don't sound like that. That's what Rand Paul said. And then he was absolutely excoriated by the left for not following the science. Here you go. They just lit him ablaze.
And I think that Dr. Paul needs to be held to a higher standard. He is a physician. He is a medical doctor.
True.
He knows better than that. And to pander to this kind of nonsensical unreality that some people live in really just baffles the mind.
The only hint of Trumpism on the Republican side of the committee today came from
criminally
Rand Paul,
vague,
who tried to suggest that it is a fully scientifically proven fact that if you survive a coronavirus infection, you are absolutely immune to coronavirus.
I don't know why he would say that. For your viewers out there, to correct misinformation, there is no evidence that if you've been infected with COVID-19, that you're immune from reinfection for any period of time.
Well, you know what? Thank you. I will correct misinformation. So there are, I know some of you guys may know because you read the show map, but bear with me. Some of you have not. So there are, at the time of this comment from Rand Paul, 52 million, about 250,000 cases of COVID.
Wow.
Okay?
A lot.
Yeah. 53,250,000. Okay. Now let me ask this. How many would you guess? So out of those, because they're saying there is no science, this has been going on since January. Yeah, sure. Some people have said since before January, right? How many would you guess have been reinfected with COVID? So we have a sample of 53 million. Let's round it, just call it 53 million. So for us to definitively be able to say that at least for a year or so, you cannot recontract COVID, you would think that it would have to be a very small number of people who've contracted. They're saying you cannot make that claim. We need to fact check that misinformation. How many people who have caught COVID, of the 53 million cases, do you think have recontracted COVID?
Like half of them.
3.
Yeah,
but I would think it would be
a comedian. You should know to build.
You got to build by.
Coming off at the pass. Most people said 3. 4. You're right. 4.
Are you serious?
Really close. 4. You were exaggerating. You thought that was going to be out of left field, like just so absurd. No, it's actually 4 people.
Is it really?
4 people globally.
Yeah,
not just the United States.
I don't look things up. Does this guy look like he researched?
Everyone I asked, they'd be like, well, maybe if there are a few thousand or a few hundred,
tens of thousands.
At that point, you would say tens of thousands.
Out of 52 million, yeah.
It's 4. 4 on Saturday.
He's still on
like,
4.
Yeah.
4.
He's
like, wait, let's go back.
Not like 4 million.
No. 4
total. Period.
Quattro.
Here, you know what? This is what it is. So start to say, slowly say for me, Dave Landau, 4 million.
4 million.
No. That's it. We stop right. Just 4. Just 4.
I'm sorry, 4?
Say 4 million.
4 people out of 53 million recontracted COVID.
And I hear they lied about it the first time.
Not so much them. It was the hospital. They have
That's
COVID.
how you explain.
No, I have mono. I'm going to put COVID to be safe. More money, please. More money, please. So, by the way, and the first one, this is the one where, so people got really scared because there was one guy, it was widely publicized from Hong Kong. Sorry, half Asian Bill.
Sorry.
He should be sorry.
Everyone publicized it saying, can we re-get COVID? So there are 4 total, but the first case was a guy from Hong Kong. And here's the thing, he's a special case because his immune response was atypical. This is a quote. When doctors tested his blood to look for antibodies to the virus, they didn't find any. After the first time he had COVID, that could mean he either had a weak immune response to the virus the first time around, or that the antibodies he made during his first infection diminished over time. But during his second infection, he quickly developed, here's what's important. This is one of the guys who recontracted COVID. And by the way, he may not have had COVID if you look at this, or at least he didn't have an immune response because he didn't have antibodies. Right. But that would make you think second, like, dodged a bullet the first time. Right. You get the second time, it's like a game of Russian roulette with 5 rounds in the chamber.
Right, yeah.
And the other 3 are Freddie Mercury.
During his second infection, he quickly developed more antibodies, suggesting that the second infection acted a little bit like a booster to fire up his immune system. That's probably the reason he didn't have any symptoms the second time, too. Wow. WebM fucking D.
So a guy who has no immune system beat the virus twice?
With no symptoms.
What? Well, let's end Thanksgiving. So
that means less than point, and I'll count. So you see, 0.000000607% of people who got COVID ever recontracted. That's 0.0000007% of people who contracted COVID ever actually recontracted the disease. So the left wants you to think that you need to shut down the entire economy and that it's misinformation, because that's what Rand Paul was arguing.
That's
saying,
exactly what he
we
said,
have people out there who are immune. They should be going out living their lives so that at this point, hopefully we can develop herd immunity, which also the left said, is not really a thing, but now they're talking about only giving us enough vaccines to develop herd immunity. The context of Rand Paul was saying, you are immune, throw away your mask, go out and let's restart society so that we don't destroy the economy for generations to come. The left is saying, no, we got to shut everything down, because if you have had the virus, it's anti-scientific to tell people they can't get it, because really they're only 99.9999993% likely to not catch it again, and the cases where people they didn't have symptoms a second time. What, you just think people should be willy-nilly walking around with a 99.9999993 survival rate, going to gas stations without masks? What are you out of your tree, sir?
Watch Good Morning Mug Club live every Monday through Thursday at 10:15 Eastern.